Welcome to Smoke and Mirrors. It's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers that are with us and those that are no longer with us. Kenny.
Yeah. Happy Mother's Day to all of the folks who have recently lost a mother as well. This can be a very difficult day. I can't imagine what the first Mother's Day is going to feel like after your mother is no longer here to share it with you.
Yes, sir.
So I hope that all of the folks that are out there in a little bit of pain today because mommy's not there, that you're able to enjoy this day and reflect on beautiful, wonderful memories that you had with your mother. And that can be the gift to her spirit, because her spirit, a mother's spirit, is never going to leave her baby.
Ever, ever.
Happy Mother's Day, everybody.
May she rest in heaven.
Yes.
Kenny, man, we got so much to talk about, man. So
Yeah, man.
You already know, Ahmaud Arbery. All right, we'll talk about that. So
Yeah.
The modern day lynching.
25 years
young
old,
man.
man. Yeah.
Michelle Obama made an appearance in the news.
Yep.
She was upset with Black people. We'll expound on that. Some may know, some may not know.
Yep.
Donald Trump believes that the Democrats wants his administration to fail because of Corona. He thinks that this is all set up to cause him to fail based on his response.
And that he hopes that they hope he fails. You're right. Yep.
Yeah. And, we'll touch on the real-time Corona stats, what's happening right now today in Georgia, nationwide, as far as infections, as well as deaths, and, some casual stuff, the Jordan Last Dance. We'll talk about that.
Yeah. You been watching it?
Yes, I lived it.
Yeah. That's right. There.
I lived it. I'm from the Chi.
From the Chi, right? Because I know.
I don't want no, don't get no autographs. But I met Jordan back in '87. So if meeting is like in the parking lot with 3,000 other people and touching his shoulder, is that meeting?
That's close enough. Him? Close enough.
Close enough. I met Jordan in '87.
Listen, I had a chance to hold Muhammad Ali in my arms and talk to him. So
I saw the pictures.
He doesn't remember me, but I met Muhammad Ali. So,
Kenny, you met everybody. That's a whole nother show.
Yeah, but I didn't meet Michael Jordan. And
I met Jordan. He had his back turned and was completely ignoring me. But I met Jordan. He's not 6'6". He's 6'5". Anyway.
Is he? Even more impressive.
So and we have to talk about also, man, these conspiracy theorists that are talking about Corona, COVID-19, and a credible source, you all may have seen Plandemic.
Yeah.
Social media had millions of shares and views, but it disappeared.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that too.
Like some smoke.
And social distancing. It's different, so it depends on who you are. Can you social distance with your family? You want to have a barbecue? Can I sneeze with a mask on? There's so much going on. If you're the wrong person in the wrong place, you might get arrested for talking to your wife too close out in public.
Depending on what uniform you're wearing.
Like your backdrop.
Right, exactly. There's some BS going on, man. That's for sure. I mean, we Black folks is catching it on it don't matter. You getting the most deaths, you getting the most illnesses, you getting the most arrests, you getting the most assault,
the most getting your ass
beat up by police. Exactly right. It's tragic what's going on, man. But yeah, just keep it light for the start. Yeah, the Jordan thing, I'm loving it, man. That I think that's a great special, man. It's sort of showing people what it was like. The kids that have never got a chance to see Michael Jordan. This is a good way of introducing him, Michael Jordan, the Hooper, to kids who grew up on Kobe, grew up on old Mike, Washington Wizards Mike. Do you even remember that Mike? Does that even? You got to be reminded. Did he play 3 seasons with them?
Yeah, no, about 2.5. So the funny thing is, they're NBA players that have said like, "Wow." So this is the Mike Jordan. They said Mike. This is Mike Jordan that y'all were talking about. So these are guys that are in the league right now that are 23 that have only seen YouTube videos of him playing. It's like, okay, now I see what y'all were talking about.
Yeah.
So here's the thing that everyone's missing. LeBron said last week, no, we're going to get this season going. You know, we're moving forward. So why does LeBron want to make sure that we get this season going? I know the reason. So he wants to make sure you all know that the season is solid. We're going to be back. The Lakers are going to prevail. We're ready.
Yeah.
I know the reason. You know the reason why he's doing that?
What's the reason?
Because LeBron has not been in the news for like 6 weeks.
Right.
So someone from 20 years ago is now the most viewed NBA player.
Right.
On the planet. Hey,
right.
I'm in LA now. What about me?
Right.
So he's hey, I see what just happened.
Yeah.
I'm not number one in the news anymore, but we are the Lakers. I'm LeBron, and we're gonna be back. So he's very adamant about that. So he had the first in getting back the league.
Well, his Twitter handle is off the chain, but I think you rely on that after a while, on your business. And when you're not the number one followed, your rates go down a little bit, so you got to make a little noise. Dennis Rodman pulled the same trick, right? When nobody talked about Dennis Rodman for the last 20 years, at least 5-10 years, outside of Kim Jong-un, right?
Yeah.
So.
Hey, Dennis Rodman's the guy that says, my right armpit's gonna be pink hair, my left armpit's gonna be purple. And Dennis, we don't care.
Yeah.
Why you letting us know? We don't care.
Yeah. I think this video shows it's interesting to see how Michael Jordan thought and how he drove folks, right? And I've worked with some folks that are very challenging and have extremely high standards and are very exacting and are very effective in communicating exactly how they feel about your screw up on their vision. And they have the power to affect you if you don't fix that, right? So and I know from experience, I didn't really have a difficult time absorbing that type of a personality because I want to win as well. So I respect that a lot. But I do remember how folks struggle to work in that kind of environment. I can imagine, that these Bulls players who have been superstars all of your life, I mean, from grade school to high school to college, you got drafted, you dig? I mean, all of those great things that have to happen, you are the man, and you show up, and the man who's the man of the men is beating you down verbally. That I could imagine that some of those Bulls weren't very happy being on that team. The rings were great. Being in the Chi was great. That's a great city to be a world champion in. I mean, privileges that you get there that you're not going to get in Birmingham, Alabama, just by virtue of being a world champion, right? And so that's a great life they got. But yeah, you were going to have to pay a certain price. But I don't see Jordan as a villain because of that. I think
never.
That's you being a man. And I appreciate that, and I think that is a great example for young men to see a man who has the ability to articulate his drive and infuse that into his team in order to achieve his dreams that they're going to benefit from anyway. So I appreciate that aspect of it, right? But of course, the media will make it out to be a lot more superficial than that and more sissified. Oh, you hurt your feelings. Horace Grant feelings were hurt. Michael's a mean man. Horace Grant would still be in damn Middle Georgia right now, back there, owning chicken factories or something, playing money. But he wouldn't have been Horace Grant to Horace Grant.
Right. Yeah. So there's two things I take from that. So what I noticed, and I won't say inside, but being from Chicago, I watched videos of Jordan in college in interviews. Oh my goodness, so humble. Everybody was sir.
Yeah.
The reporter, yes sir, thank you sir. We're trying to do this. Gotcha. But once he got to the league, he wanted to impart his vision and his drive to be successful on everyone. Yeah. And everyone couldn't accept that as far as what he wanted to do and his vision for his career and for the league. And for that reason, some folks had an issue with that.
Yeah.
Because, he saw where he was going and what was going to happen with that. So I think this gives a lot of folks the opportunity to see Jordan as far as what he's done and his vision. But there are people in Chicago. So news will drop in 2008. Jordan built a library on the west side of Chicago. He donated $1.5 million. Everybody in the hood, why he couldn't get $5 million?
Right.
He only got $1.5 million because that one comment where he said, selling the Jordans, Republicans buy shoes too.
But who did he say that to? That was interesting to learn who he shared that with. That was on the bus. That's just amongst
That was chilling.
That's just we talking shit, and I said that, and it was funny at the moment, and that made it out.
Now it's a headline story.
Right. But you know what? All that did was increase the number of Republican
buying
Jordans that he sold. He got the red toe and the blue toe.
The red and the blue toe.
Both of them selling.
Hey, in Utah, on a farm, count them.
Right.
They wearing the Jordans in Utah.
Everybody. They got different Jordans for different stores.
Listen, but I will say this. He has made himself more visible in the last 3 to 5 years for causes that affect and improve the lives of us as Black people, because things that happen. He said, you know what? I want to cover this funeral for this situation and donate $1 million to this cause. But that's all you got? This $1 million. You couldn't do $3 million. So we will never be happy. So that's my point on Jordan. So
so that's my man. He's a great example of what work ethic and staying focused to your vision and your dream, and a great relationship with a father. And before we jump off of this, it's Mother's Day.
It is.
But you can't be a mother without a father. And on Father's Day, you can't be a
so
father without a mother, right?
It's
a parenting celebration. But man, I'm so impressed with, and I just want to give shout out to as well. I'm impressed with. I got to go on the record of being impressed with LeVar Ball. And Jordan reminded me of that, because Jordan, when they mentioned that his father was his best friend and his father, right? And working together to build a dream. I've always been interested in books by the fathers of these great men. I would love to hear what Muhammad Ali's parents, instilled in him. How did Tiger Woods' dad get Tiger Woods how did you just decide my son's going to be the greatest golfer in the world and you helped him get there, right? How did you just decide that my daughters are going to dominate tennis before they were even born, and then you have 2 daughters and they dominate? I want to know what Richard Williams knew that we don't know, right? And LeVar Ball and Michael Jordan's dad, how do you contain a relationship with someone who's got so much adoration from the whole world? Everybody's on your job, but you are able to keep him grounded. How do you, as a father, do that, right? So when he talked about his father being not only his father but his best friend, that also brought to mind to me LeVar Ball, man, and I'm so impressed. He's going to have what he said he was going to have. He's going to have 3 sons in the NBA. Oh, well, he said he was going to be on the same team. You don't even know 3 people in the NBA. So people that's talking junk. And Puma, I think, Ken Stradamus calling it, Puma is going to sign a deal with Big Baller Brands, and Big Baller Brands is also going to come real. So here's a man stood up to be a father, and we ridicule him, to talk about your point about, how we do. But go ahead, man. What you going to say? You about to do it too, ain't you?
His sons fired him. So when you get finished doing your lip match his lip. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Y'all got the same lip. His sons fired him. This is the same man said, man, I can take Jordan in the paint. He too lightweight.
That's why you mad. That's
a
why
little
you
bit.
hate him. That's why. That's why you mad.
Kenny,
but
Kenny, your stats. You play ball NAS. All right, so you all don't know. We're in the Navy. Kenny played ball for the Navy in Florida. Your stats are better than LeVar Ball's stats. But he told ESPN,
but listen,
I can take Jordan.
You can't hold that against him. You can't hold that against him because my stats are better than his. My stats were better than everybody's.
On PlayStation. Because I crossed you over NAS and went baseline. He's like, wow.
Yeah, but you're 6'8" and I'm 5'11".
Good point.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we shall overcome. All right. Well,
Yes.
on to some real stuff, man.
Michelle Obama.
Yeah.
So
Michelle,
why is she angry?
Well, apparently, we didn't vote enough to please Michelle Obama. Well, for folks that don't know, Michelle Obama recently came out with a new Netflix special, documentary type of thing, where it's the Michelle Obama her book Becoming, and it's following her on her tour of America and a lot of behind the scenes, conversations with her, and you get a chance to hear her, discussing her book and her life with the audience, and then with friends on the side and all this other stuff. So it was a part in there where Michelle said that she felt like it was a slap in the face that more of us didn't show up to vote for Hillary Clinton. And
we're talking about 2016.
Yeah, that we didn't vote up to vote to help Hillary beat Agent Orange.
Yeah, so she's scolding us.
Yeah, and it kind of felt that way, man. It did. It was.
But Kenny, I remember she gave Hillary the side eye. A couple times because she said some stuff that was kind of her right there.
Yeah, that was that's.
Yes, thank you for moving.
That's sort of how we felt.
Everybody got the same. No, I need to move your big ass head, Kenny. All right.
I got to sit like this the rest of the show.
No, that's.
But that's So that was Michelle's point. Now here's the thing, right? So the Obamas have earned, they earned this. They've got a major deal with Netflix, $50 million. They've got a $65 million deal, I believe, book deal with Penguin Publishing. So in a great sense of the word, they are products now, right?
Right.
And they can't sell stuff if they upset the wrong audience, and that's why I get that. But the other side of that is the tone of that, right? What else are you trying to communicate? That you feel like we owe you? Do we owe the Obama family something after making, being a large part of the reason that you became president? We didn't receive, as the Black community directly, we didn't receive a lot of direct legislation that was for us. The immigrants got the DREAM Act, gay community received the right to marry, Native Americans got Tribal Law and Order Act. There was nothing specific to us. So obviously we love the Obamas, we love Michelle, we love Barack, we love the idea that our children, period, that's it. You don't have to do anything else. Our children had the opportunity. My son was 8 years old before he ever saw a white president. That's big, right? So
it is, yeah.
So there's that piece of it. But then on the other side, what do you owe us in return, right? We didn't dog you for not creating a lot of legislation. There was a lot of people that's making a lot of noise, but there were a lot of people who agreed with those noisemakers, but just bit their tongue because we weren't going to be disrespectful, right? So I dig that part, but the question that I have is, when you feel like we slapped you in the face for not running out there supporting Hillary, how about a conversation with the Democratic Party about how we might have felt slapped in the face that the best you can offer us after the Obamas is Hillary freaking Clinton? That's really? There wasn't even anybody else running in the race. And so when people don't show up, that's a vote. People say that if you don't exercise your right to vote, then that's a slap in the face to your ancestors. Not really, because if you give me two bowls of shit to eat, I'm gonna vote for neither. That's also a vote. I vote for no shit on my plate, right? And that's a vote. So let's not discount that and try insult people over that, because that issue is still present today. The issue on the Democratic side has not been fixed yet. You haven't given us anything to vote for. We all know what we are expected to.
We got Mighty Joe. We got Mighty Joe Biden. What are you talking about? We got somebody.
That's what I'm saying. That's nobody what is it about him that inspires me to vote for him other than to vote against Donald Trump? And that's where Puffy's point comes in, right? It's, got to hold the vote hostage, man. If you're not willing to, again, if you're not willing to stand up for something, you'll fall for anything. And we keep falling for the okie doke with the Democratic Party. They turn the Republicans into the boogeyman. But you give me the guy who wrote the crime bill that got us all in jail in the first place. You give me the guy and the lady, Hillary, who introduced the super predator term that now gives excuse to people to pull the shit we saw in Brunswick, Georgia, because our friends call us super predators. So what does that say to our enemies, right? That told you, look, even the white people that like them, even the white people they like call them super predators. So all that stuff, man, you got to give us something else. So I would hope that Michelle and Barack would be pushing the issue on that side as opposed to coming at us.
Okay, so you mentioned Barack. Barack ain't said nothing in 4 years. So that's that's next show. So Joe Biden is a bowl of Frosted Flakes from a nursing home. If he have like, so he's the guy that the Dems have said, let's uplift him because he can correct all this and make everything right. So I'm just saying.
Bro, I heard D.L. Hughley on the Breakfast Club tell them that we should vote for Joe Biden because at least he pretends to care. What kind of bullshit is that, man?
What is that?
That's what I'm saying. These are the options that are being presented. Don't care versus at least he pretends to care. Vote for him because at least he pretends to care. And Puffy was being, irresponsible because he didn't have a list of agenda items to present for the platform. What is the black agenda? What is the black agenda we could all agree on? Well, shit, man. Come on, man. Just slow your roll. Let's not say what Puffy was saying. Let's not discount that because there is something to saying, give me something for my vote or don't expect my vote. I don't owe you a freaking vote, especially when I only got two choices. I don't owe you shit. There's a third choice, which is nobody. So if you want my vote, earn my vote. And that's where I sort of look at that with Michelle topic. It's like, okay, but I get it.
So
you got the Netflix
let me
deal.
give you something for your vote. 26 million Americans have filed for unemployment. In the last 2 weeks.
Right.
So this administration has been very prideful on what they have done to the economy. So the question is, in the next 4 weeks, the country is open. It's very casual. This governor in Georgia, he started it, last week based on Trump saying, you know what, the personal phone call, go ahead and open the government. Mm-hmm. But then when he did it, he said publicly, I think it's too soon for Georgia. Exactly.
Right.
That look right there.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, the country is going to be completely open in about 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And some states have not even peaked. We want to flatten the curve. So what's really happened with that?
Yeah. It's gonna be some problems. I mean, at the end of the day, social distancing isn't going to be going anywhere over the next several
weeks. It depends
weeks.
on who you are. It depends on what you look like. You're melanin.
That's a different topic, different issue. But on as far as the opening of the country, the social distancing is still going to be a business requirement. So we're by announcing that over the next several weeks you will be able to open your business, but social distancing is still going to occur. So now, how do you maintain your revenues and how do you keep your books in balance, your books balanced when you have to cut your volume by 50%? So a lot of these businesses are going to open because out of desperation, but they're not going to survive. A lot of businesses are just not going to make it. We've got Arizona's out here is done in Atlanta, favorite place we used to love to go to, done as a result of Corona. Small businesses are going to be falling off left and right. So there's going to be stuff open so that they can make money. But at the same time as well, you're also running out of funding for unemployment. It was nice to say, but this is what happens when you don't tax the top levels effectively and you have billions and billions and trillions of dollars compiled, in a small bucket and they don't want to share it. Now you've got less to go around. So now we don't have your unemployment money. So we're going to open the state back up so that we can have a reason to not pay unemployment when you don't go to work. So you're going to put yourself at risk. We're going to keep the businesses open because there's physical safety and then there's fiscal safety.
Kenny.
And they lean in toward the fiscal side right now.
Kenny.
Yeah.
We in Georgia. All right.
Yeah.
So Georgia semi-opened up last week.
Yep.
Standing room only. Everybody want to get their nails done, their hair done, their feet done. And they took pictures in College Park.
Yeah.
In Decatur.
Yeah.
Our sisters was out there.
Stop that right there. We got evidence. 65,000 people came into Atlanta and Georgia.
For what?
Once we opened up to get their hair done and they
Nails
feet did, and then that's exactly right. So don't blame College Park. Don't blame Atlanta. That wasn't us.
They want to get their coochie hair done.
That's South Carolina. That's South Carolina.
I can't say Can I say coochie hair on? No.
It's Brazilians. It's called Brazilians.
Brazilian.
Yeah, they had to get their Brazilians. I don't know if they opened those up. I didn't see if the.
First of all,
Essential.
my Brazilian is getting afro.
Right. Yeah. That's. And some of them was with the weaves, right? You know, act like it cost $1 Brazilian for as long as they were wearing it. So, but yeah, no. So you've got, but see, all of this right here, right? This sort of brings to mind our boy Ahmaud Arbery, man, and that is we got to touch on that too, because that's a 25-year-old
touch
brother.
on it.
That's a 25-year-old brother, man, who's just out for a jog in his neighborhood, and he gets chased down by a father and son wannabe. I don't know what the hell they were.
Vigilantes.
Just vigilantes, fake phony ass superheroes and shit.
Right.
And gun him down in cold blood. At least he was whooping somebody's ass up until the last freaking second. About damn time that we see somebody getting their ass whooped until they get it off, right? Because I like that seed was at least planted in all the minds of the kids and black people who had to watch that shit, that at least he was getting his off in the last second. Next time, maybe we get ours off and we get that gun and it's a different story, right? But father and son tag team, Gregory Michaels, 64.
In February, 3 months ago.
February 23rd. Gregory Michael, 64, and his son Travis Michael, 34. So their attorney, somebody who they were looking for to defend them, he's the one who actually leaked the video. The first DA said that they investigated Arbery, and that Arbery's family was full of criminals, and when he was trying to let them slide, and that sort of was like some of the excuse. Then the Georgia governor, jackass that he is on the opening.
What's his face? Yeah.
At least he sent the GBI after he saw the video. He sent the GBI in, and even Trump called it disgusting and disturbing. Well, he called it disturbing and heartbreaking. So if Donald Trump is not even agreeing with the redneck, you really messed up right there. And so LeBron James has got himself in a little bit of an uproar around this too, right? People, you can see the people that get offended when we point out that black folks catch shit unnecessarily, right? Well, what about black on black crime? Wait, get out of here with that black on black crime. What about just leave us alone? Why do we got to have more crime because there's black on black crime? Now we want to invite blue on black crime and white on black crime and redneck on black crime as well because we can't control black on black crime? Bullshit. So LeBron tweeted, we're literally hunted every day, every time we step foot outside the comfort of our home. Can't even go for a damn jog, man. Like, WTF? Are you kidding me? No, man, for real. Are you kidding me? I'm sorry, Ahmaud. Rest in paradise, and my prayers and blessings are sent to the heavens above to your family. And now people are offended by LeBron putting that out. Like, that's not a fact. Like, that's not true that we catch it like that.
You know how this works, man. Come on, man. You know this. They're already setting the stage.
Yeah.
I'm watching everybody on social media. There's a webpage, Christians Against Google, supporting whatever that bastard his son's name is.
Raising
30,000 followers.
Yeah.
With a GoFundMe.
Yeah.
So what they're saying, they're whispering already. Well, hey, buddy, who jogs in cargo shorts? All right.
Right.
Who jogs in boots? So we don't think he was a jogger. So they're already kind of setting the scene, because the first time I heard it, I said, you know what? I don't care about his background. I don't care what he did in high school. I don't care about his credit score. I don't care if he smoked weed that morning.
Right.
If anything was going on, you can contact the authorities. So their story was, we were defending ourselves because as we were doing a citizen's arrest, he attacked us. What?
Yeah.
That's their story.
Yeah, and the citizen's arrest. Now, the law around citizen's arrest says that you have to see a crime in progress before you
Yes,
can do
sir.
citizen's arrest. So there's no evidence that any crime was. And even what they said was a crime is what my grandmother used to teach me to do in order to visualize yourself living the life that you want to live. So when you see houses being constructed and you go for a jog through those neighborhoods with the houses that you can't afford today, but you plan on affording tomorrow, it's no crime in going up to the window of a house that they're building, that they plan on selling, that you plan on buying at some point in your life, and taking a look on the inside to see what's up. There's no thought that anybody's living in that house. These houses are empty and being built. So if that's the reason that they gave for chasing them down, what's wrong with you? Even that.
And they had a video team recording it. They were. This was premeditated.
He was part of the citizen's arrest. So they've announced Sean King, of all people, Sean King is now pursuing this guy with his social media presence. And I think that's the brothers. Yeah, Sean King.
Yeah, Sean King. Yeah.
So he's the one that's so he's posting this guy's picture all over the place, basically breaking down that you were the one sort of herding him over to them, and that's how he wound up. And then so now he makes his break around, and then we saw what we saw. But this happens, man, because there's no ramifications when it does.
Zero.
It's talk. Remember, Zimmerman got arrested too. Zimmerman got charged too.
Yeah.
But Zimmerman is out selling pictures of paintings of Skittles with a dead kid next to it and making money off of that.
And Zimmerman got arrested like 4 other times in other states after that.
Proving what kind of dude he was in the first place, right? So
absolutely.
But a part of this as well is that we're not controlling our own narrative, man. We're not speaking up for ourselves. We're so caught up in getting accepted by everybody else that we don't fight and accept ourselves, man. How did Sean King and Kim Kardashian become the new Martin Luther King and Harriet Tubman? Why aren't black tears and anger enough anymore? Why does it take white rage to shake the ground? Can we not shake the ground for ourselves? Has the Black Revolution been regentrified?
Listen. The Black Revolution has now been converted to social media. So back in the day, the Black Revolution was, hey, let me know where we gonna march. Let me know where to be. If I need to march 30 miles with a German Shepherd on my leg, I'm gonna be there.
Yeah.
But now the Black Revolution is, what's the hashtag so I can put it on my social media? They ain't trying to get their fingers dirty. So they will hashtag whatever, but are we committed to the struggle like we were back in the day? Are we gonna show up? Are we gonna march? Are we gonna go ahead and stand out for 12 hours in the rain and let the state know that we are not going to accept what has happened? So with this whole thing here, what they don't want you to know is this happened in February.
Yeah.
So because of social media in the last 96 hours saying hashtag, we're not going to put up with this, then they decided to arrest. So there were several folks that recused themselves from this because I guess the father was involved. He retired police officer and
7 years. I think he had 7
so,
years as a cop, and then he worked as an investigator for the district attorney's office.
So there were several folks that have recused themselves from this because they didn't want to be involved with it. And there was a picture of the governor with this guy. You see that?
The governor said that's not him. The governor said that that's not the guy. Okay. And that's a different. It was a totally different redneck racist that he was taking.
It was the other dude from Brunswick. Right. It looks just like him.
They buy their shirts at the same place.
Yes, it's coincidence.
Allah is not God. Muhammad is not a prophet. Shirts, and Trump hats and
same place.
One of those guys that the governor feels, this is the guy I want to take a picture with. Don't vote for me, Muslim community. We don't need. So
all I'm saying is, Kenny, because I immerse myself in everything, from Al Sharpton on social media to Rush Limbaugh. I want to hear what's out there.
Yeah.
And I know in the next 5 days, they're already setting the platform. They're going to say, all right, well, he said he was jogging. Why did he have on cargo shorts?
Yeah.
He had on boots. He was on, what do you call it when you're on, he's on parole. So they're already setting the stage to say that they were trying to defend their community. So I see the BS coming.
Yeah.
So when 35,000 people have started a page to support these two bastards, saying Christians against Google,
Yeah.
to support our brothers. I'm just saying, man.
Well, that's we all know
more smoke and mirrors.
There's two Christianities. There's the Christianity that the slave master used, and there's the Christianity that was born from the slave. And it can get kind of confusing, right? Coca-Cola doesn't let Pepsi-Cola call itself Coca-Cola. They're two different things, but one of them figured it out from the other. So we were introduced to the Christian faith, by maybe not the greatest of methods, but we didn't absorb many of the traits of our teachers of that religion, and so we tend to carry ourselves a little differently than they do. And so yeah, they can find it within their Christianity to support this. This is part of their Christianity. According to their Christianity, you're supposed to take us and make us slaves. That's part of their Christianity. That's not our Christianity. So they're falling right in line with what they've always been about. That's how they interpret the Bible. That's how they interpret the world. That's for them. Enjoy it. But we got to stop fooling ourselves and talking ourselves out of believing that those people exist, man. That's how the problem happens. We keep acting like it's just one or two. It's just them. No, all of them ain't like that. Like Muhammad Ali said, if I see 1,000 snakes coming down at me, and I know that 10 of those snakes really mean me no harm, do I expect those 10 snakes to get around me and block the other 990 snakes that
not gonna happen? No.
So do I just shut the door, lock myself away, and say, yo, y'all just chill over there. We'll be good over here. There's no problem. So but we don't do that. We don't do that. We don't want to live amongst ourselves. We want to move into their communities. We want to move into their neighborhoods, and then they get mad. Not that we shouldn't be allowed to be there, but we open ourselves up to this kind of stuff over and over and over again by not having a community of our own that is thriving. We need to make our own communities thrive. We need to make our own neighborhoods pop off. We need to re-gentrify our own communities. You know how easy it is to tear life up here in Atlanta, Georgia? Do you know what you can get in Atlanta, Georgia for the money that they spend in California, for your money you spend in New York, and then you treat it like shit for being black, when here you're not gonna be treated like shit for being black? Come on, man. Tyler Perry's studio. I saw this on Isaac Hayes III's podcast. That guy got some great information too, man. I love listening to him, and I don't always agree with his shit, but
we'll tag him on this post.
Yeah, he got some good shit, and he was pointing out that for Tyler Perry Studios, if Tyler Perry wanted to buy that same amount of land in New York City, would have cost like over $1 billion for what he paid $330 million for. In LA, Southern California, to get that same amount of land, it would have cost like $800 million for him to get that same property. So, and then he wouldn't have been treated as respected as an equal out there. But here in Atlanta, this is where you get to get it. So we're very fortunate over here, man. We got to get more. We got to align ourselves. We got to align our money. We got to start spending with each other. We got to start believing in each other. We got to start caring for each other. And this isn't a knock on black crime, because it's always going to be black on black crime.
Right.
More black on black love, black on black respect, black on black appreciation, black on black value of one another. And no matter if you half black, pure black, they ain't no pure black motherfuckers. Just understand that shit. So
I am 1/18 Puerto Rican.
That's where exactly.
I am that much Puerto Rican. Look at you see that.
But I'm saying that divisiveness that has been instilled in us, the mulatto, the half breed, blah 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 blah, divide and conquer, and amongst us all. Because at the end of the day, what makes you black? If this was 1850, would you be voting or would you be a slave?
Wow.
You black motherfucker. I don't care how cute, good hair, light skin, DeBarge looking motherfucker you'd have been in the plantation. Oh, which DeBarge? Which one of them? All of the DeBarges would have been getting raped by Master. Let's just understand that. All right, they would have all been catching it from Masters.
Sir.
Yeah.
Bruh, I know you.
Yeah.
You are a numbers guy. Let's go back to something that you mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm.
The economy has been destroyed.
Yeah.
In the last 8 weeks. So I want to revisit something. So this pandemic, so there is a molecular biologist, Dr. Judy McCostas. So she said that Anthony Fauci, he's the guy that's the face of this task force.
That's right.
He said in 1984, he knew everything that was going on with HIV, and he decided to, because he wanted to get a patent on things. So millions I'm sorry, she said a generation of Africans died because he was interested in having a patent on a potential vaccine.
Yeah.
She released in 1991 saying that animal and fetal human matter was unleashing a devastation as far as chronic diseases. They put her in jail.
Right.
So she just got out this year, and she's telling people right now that pharma attacked her because she released information. So why does this video that has millions of likes and shares saying that when a doctor says you have coronavirus, that's $13,000 for Medicare? If you go on the ventilator, it's $39,000. And then the person never comes off. 93% of the time, they don't come off of a ventilator. So doctors are saying they are being coerced into saying, it was corona. You know, you get a 102-year-old person that come in the hospital, and they die. Corona. So they're saying they're being incentivized to say everyone that dies right now, corona.
Right. Yeah.
You're a numbers guy. So what does that mean as far as, so what's the, so who says, you know what, I'm not worried about the economy. If I can make this money and get a patent on the vaccine, we want every person to die in New York from coronavirus.
Yeah, I've heard some it being discussed as a disaster capitalism. That's what it was called, disaster capitalism. And basically what that is you know, you're able to slide stuff through while you have people in an uproar and a state of panic, not thinking clearly. Same as like 9/11, right? Rudy Giuliani became a hero, not because of any policies, but because he gave a clear voice, right, in that chaotic time, right? And so that's what we were really looking for. So in this time, while they stoking all this fear as a result of the coronavirus, right? Folks are focusing on the virus and not so much focusing on what's happening around it, because most of us are good people. So we trust that the other people that are leading the charge against this are also good like us, but they're not always that good, right?
No,
so they've got some ulterior motives, and their motives are you know, you can see what their motives are by what they vote for, and they vote for corporations and businesses. And so that's so the higher you can drive that number, the better off you are. And then when that's occurring, now you can start to pass rules that you could have never gotten passed outside of this circumstance, right? So you would have never gotten the Patriot Act passed without giving the president that much authority and autonomy and power if you didn't have 9/11 happen. And there's going to be laws and rules and business deals that are going to come out of this. There's stuff that happened in after the 2008 crash,
right.
that, you know, to bail the banks out. There's no punitive action taken against them. So but you could have never given them that much money. So you could have never given people, who would have agreed to printing out $6.5 trillion to spend, right? Unless we're so afraid of dying, right? So let's think about it.
Exactly, right.
75,000 people have died, and $6.5 trillion is printed in order because we had to slow everything down, right? So that's about $800-900 million per dead person. When have greedy business people ever given a shit about human beings that they would sacrifice $1 billion per, $100 million per,
Kenny,
per dead person?
We live in a society right now.
Yeah.
If a doctor in a hospital is incentivized to say, hey, if someone comes in over 65, we're going to go ahead on death certificate, COVID-19.
Right.
But they're financially incentivized to say that.
Right.
What society do we live in right now? That's their motivation to say, you know what, Corona.
We live in a society that just voted for that, man. We live in a society that's voting for that right now. On the ballot, we have a gentleman named Bernie Sanders who's against that, correct? And he's losing, correct?
Right.
The argument is just get out of here, man. We're sick of you. As a matter of fact, we're not even going to put you on the ballot in New York. So we're voting for this behavior in this crisis. We can't expect it to go away when we're rewarding the folks who are in fear of the guy who's trying to change that. We're voting for the guy who's trying to keep that going. If a bill came on Joe Biden's desk saying, we have found a way to do Medicare for all, would you sign it? No, I would veto it. What else permission do they need? So they're running with that. They're gonna profit off of this, and that's the problem, is that there's too much profit in sickness and there's not enough profit in health. And the name of the game then becomes drive sickness, create more sickness, and that's what we got to do. But that's Trump's point, though, right? So part of what we were talking about earlier was Trump's point about the Democrats want him to fail in order to get the so that they win the election, that they want him.
Kenny, stop playing. Listen,
that's what he said. That's what he said.
At the end of the day,
yeah,
this country is ready to open up. Georgia has not flattened the curve.
Nope.
But I'm saying, Kenny. All right, so
it's going to be a part two. Everybody out there, the folks that are watching this right now that we know, mind your health, eat healthy. Don't be distracted by the bullshit you're going to see other people doing. Keep quarantining yourself best you can. Keep your immune system well, because this virus, I believe, is going to come back, because they are jeopardizing everyone.
The virus. So in regards to the doctor, she said organically, the way this is set up, this virus, Ebola, did not transfer to humans until humans brought Ebola into a lab, and they were able to calibrate, as you can relate to the calibration word, because that was our word.
Yeah.
Whatever. So they manipulated the genetic setup of Ebola, and then it went from something that could not transfer to humans to something that could. And she said the same thing. If you were in Wuhan and you were in a market with a bat, right. Naturally, it would take 800 years for that to mutate to something
to that extent
that would affect humans. But if you are in a lab, it can go from SARS-1 to what it is now, which is coronavirus, in a decade once it's in a lab. So I don't trust nobody, man. I don't trust anybody.
Yeah, this is that's the name of the game, man. All you can do is take care of yourself. You can't be influenced by the nonsense that folks is feeding us from the media.
Kenny, we got to open up. Kenny, we got to. Hey, so you know my business. I thrive on social media, entertainment, and digital marketing. So I need to be out there.
Yeah.
So that's been shut down for like 3 months.
Right.
So I would like for it to open up when the time is right. But the question is, the country's saying the time is almost right. Is it really almost right?
No, but it has to do what it has to do in order to make sure that the country stays afloat. The country's a business as well. So,
yes.
All right, we're going to sacrifice trillions of dollars.
Economy deaths, economy, people
That's
dying.
Right. But they sacrifice the economy first. And then to your point, the money has to come from somewhere. We don't live in a society like Canada where it's like, all right, we got $2,000 for all of y'all, everybody, women, children. Nobody's paying mortgage, nobody's paying rent. Car notes is froze. Everybody just chill. We got you. We don't live in that country. We live in the United States of America, where it's pull yourself up by your bootstraps, even though we didn't give you any boot or straps. And we cut your feet off. That's what we live, right? And we live in a society with classes, and so the upper class, the white class, the top tier of our society.
Yes, sir.
They're benefiting by this. They've made trillions of dollars during this time period. Walmart is getting all the love. The grocery store owners are getting all the love. CVS, the drug companies, they're getting all the money. And it's not hurting Amazon. It's not hurting Jeff Bezos that this is happening, right? So that class is fine.
But you agree, Kenny, man, we have to open up the society. All right, so I drove by the airport. The busiest airport, not in Georgia, not in the Southeast, not in the country, in the world. It was like 3 planes with the hazard lights on. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Right. Talking to each other out the window.
Yes, hey, with a walkie-talkie. Code 3, we got this MD-80.
Right.
Kenny, we have to open up. So I'm a guy that thrives on business. So I understand we have to be safe, but we can't shut down the whole economy for 3 years while we figure this thing out.
If there is no figuring it out, there's no figuring out a disease, or we would have no diseases if anybody could figure out a disease. There's no figuring it out.
We got to live.
That's right. This thing is here. So now how do we live with this thing here is the question. You're right. We have to open up. How do we open up? What does opened up look like versus what it used to look like? We ain't gonna have nightclubs full of 50,000, 1,000 people. Not
ever.
They said the same thing after the Spanish flu too. When the Spanish flu pandemic, they thought they would never get back to it, and then we got back to it. All we need is another Little Richard or Elvis Presley. We'll be back climbing all over each other this season. So
rest in heaven to Little Richard.
And Andre Harrell too, man.
Yes, and Andre Harrell.
Uptown's kicking it. Yeah. That was,
so Kenny,
we got to open up.
Kenny, where you from?
From the Bronx.
Where'd you grow up?
The Bronx, in Atlanta. The Bronx and Atlanta, where I grew up.
All right. So in Atlanta, why are they making masks? They're making leather masks to match outfits with holes right there around. They're making lime green, red, French blue, right. Leather mask that has like holes all over here so you can breathe, but be sexy in your mask.
Yeah.
Kenny.
Yeah.
Your city.
Look, I'll tell you why. And we're voting against that right now.
A leather mask?
Education, man. You're not very smart. And we're voting against education again this election cycle. So
that's sexual.
Expect to have leather masks next week, next coronavirus season 2, because we're not making the smarter society, man. That's just you get out what you put in, and the great ideas that's populating out. Yeah, you go down, you go hang out in the right parts of town, man. You got a whole family with Gucci and Louis Vuitton masks that ain't blocking nothing.
Nothing. You looking good. Hey, you look good as you about to die.
Yeah, we playing the mask game, but now they're saying that the masks don't really make a difference anyway, right? That you can use
not
or anything else. You're not gonna catch corona because you have a mask on, though. So at least they playing the game and showing the kids the right stuff to do.
So Kenny, all right. So let's lighten it up. So there's stuff on social media. I know we got like 3 minutes left. So what's going on with Tekashi?
Tekashi 6ix9ine. Oh yeah, my man is fresh out the pen and broke the internet, man. What do you have? 2 million people signed in at the same time.
What did he do?
Oh, he just gave a long spiel about, I snitched, but who am I supposed to be loyal to? Them dudes kidnapped my mama, tried to kidnap me, did this, did that. I'm putting them on. I'm paying them to go to college. I'm paying for their kids to go to school, and this is how they treat me. So I'm supposed to sit in prison for the rest of my life to protect them? Nah, but I understand why you mad, because I did that. And now I'm out here balling in your face. So you upset about that. So so apparently he had the police they actually had to move his house from where it was, because it leaked out where he's now living. But so he's got a big giant billboard, Times Square, New York. I don't know how much he spent on that, but I know nobody was there to see it.
Nobody
in a ghost town for tumbleweeds. Yes. So, but he was out and about. And it's just, but see, this is part of what's going on in our society, man, right? Look at the example that's being perpetrated across the entire world. Those of us, it's not even a matter of black at this point, black or white, right? This is a matter of people who even consider themselves to be part of the hip hop culture. That's even being hijacked, right? Everything that we create that's positive, it seems to be, just twisted and distorted and turned into something that's just, it's not even a reflection of what it started out to be. Hip hop didn't start out to be this thing about set tripping, gang violence, misogyny, all of the bullshit that it is. And Tekashi 6ix9ine embodies all that shit. And he comes out of prison went to jail for bullshit, and now comes out of jail on bullshit, and that's the top dog. Yeah.
I'm from Chicago. I don't know him. All right. Yeah. So what I do know, on social media, we had 570,000 people last night that logged on to the Jill Scott versus Erykah Badu. Yeah. We got 2.5 minutes. Who you get the nod to? Jill Scott, Erykah Badu. Who you got?
Jill Scott, man.
What?
Yeah, I mean,
Jill Scott, me too, man. Yeah. For real. Listen, man. Smoke and Mirrors, man. We do this every week.
Yes.
If you are watching this, share with your friends. Let them know. Find us on YouTube, on Facebook. Smoke and Mirrors. We're very excited to be here in the midst of a political pandemic, a viral pandemic, a BS pandemic. We got you. Kenny B.
Don't be out there acting like no suckers. Stay your asses out of the way of the corona, the 5G, the dirty cops, and the lying politicians.
All that.
Stay true to your core values
and
principles this week. And until next time, please share, please like. Peace out.